What is poppin' squad? Your boy Jesimein, and after a lot of delay, here is my Immortal troll build that I've been promising to share with you guys. I've been kind of tweaking on it to make it as unkillable and annoying as possible. If you have the pieces, you're gonna be good. If you don't, you can kind of mix it in as much as you possibly can. If you want to be a dedicated healer, if you just want to troll in the DZ, and if you have the diamond back, you will be pretty much set to go. So without further ado, let's get into the build itself. So obviously, just like I said, it was kind of based off of my original main build concept, except I needed to find like a happy medium with armor and obviously skill power, which is overkill anyways. But the way I would run this is basically I'm not going for damage whatsoever. I mean, if you feel like you want to, like, I guess, tweak it to where you can do damage, sure, fine, whatever. But the concept of the build, the whole premise that I even made it was to just be absolutely unkillable in most situations and pretty much out tank and be able to heal if your teammates obviously run into your heals. But let's get into it. So I have an ongoing mask. The reason I opted to go for ongoing mask is because I was able to get 3 utility slots off of it, which is good because you want to be able to have bigger heals. The more electronics you have with this build, being that your BTSU gloves proc, the more heals you're going to have, period, regardless of how trash your chem launcher mods are, which I'll get into that in a moment. So I have 404 skill power, 10% skill haste. I haven't even rolled, really. I haven't min-maxed the build, but you can already see it's already crazy by itself. But pretty much what you would want to have is outgoing healing mods if you're able to have them. I have a couple. When I min-max it and do the final version, I'll implement all that, but pretty much I just went just to go way overkill with skill power just in case the next update we're gonna need higher skill power. But like I said, I have 2 yellows on my mask and I get a utility slot, which is 3 electronics off of that. My chest piece is going to be an Extreme Pro ribcage with it's an ALP, so I get the 20% skill haste. I rolled skill power on it with armor and harden, so that's pretty much where I get a lot of my tankiness from, is that 10% plus that 32k. Most people have way better chest piece than I have, so it's probably going to be even more grand for you, and you get a little free damage, a little offensive slot, so whatever basically you want to spec into. Most people are probably going to use ARs anyways, and I also have a skill power and armor and total armor mod in it. So as you can see, pretty much my toughness is going to be coming from my chest and my backpack, as most builds, and pretty much there's not going to be damage anywhere. I only have 2 reds, and one of them is on the backpack, and we all know that backpack is trash, and we'll get into that. And the most important part of the build of all skill builds, I told people, if you're going to run skill build, run the ongoing holster, because you get 4 utilities out of it. With BTSU, that's just ridiculous. That's 40% healing just off your holster alone for free, because each percent or each electronic is 10%. So I have skill haste, skill power. Unfortunately, I have a 493 holster. If I had a 500, I would be able to roll another 700. Which would bring my skill power to like freaking 3,500, but it's pretty much overkill. Like, once you hit 3k, you're pretty much good. But why not? I mean, it's not like I'm getting anything else out of it. But I have skill haste, skill power. You can see right here, as well as 2 utility slots. The cool thing about the ongoing is it's the only holster that's going to be able to give you this much electronics. And if you're using Eagle Bear, you get 20% weapon handling from running the 2-piece. For this build, you don't really care about the 2-piece. You're only using it for just the raw skill power that you get from it. But if you wanted to kind of, which I'll show you in a future build video of how I use this build, but changed for more fighting instead of healing. So go into the backpack. It's pretty much the backpack everybody has. If you have a better backpack, GG. But it's 18.5% total armor and armor with 1% weapon damage. I don't care about the weapon damage because I don't really use it for damage, so this is pretty much perfect for me. On the ropes for some free damage and harden as well as a utility slot and a defensive slot. The cool thing about running this build, being that I have this ongoing holster, is I don't need a backpack with skill power on it, because I have so much skill power just off my mask and my chest piece. Just these 3. Like, a lot of people have maybe 2 blues and a yellow. If you have a better backpack, you can kind of spec into that. But I wanted to try to break high 400s, because it's really hard to have max skill power without having to run auxiliary battery or something. So I kind of wanted to have that, and the best way I could find it is to run these 2, and then I'll be able to use the meta backpack that everybody's using. The most important part of the build, we all know already, if you haven't watched none of my streams or my videos lately, my favorite piece in the game, the BTSU data gloves. How these work is basically when you status effect somebody, you get 10%, what is it? It's healing, skill repair, skill damage, and duration on top of whatever you have on your build, which is ridiculous. But you do sacrifice a lot of damage, because most people are losing, 25% damage, because they're running like 12% AR with compensated. So you're giving up a tremendous amount of damage, but you get a lot of payout from it, especially if you're running it like this. You're basically unkillable when these are procced. You're hard to kill already just because of the Diamondback, but you're pretty much like literally immortal when you have your heals up plus the Diamondback's armor. It's just outrageous, and you guys have seen, and pretty much if you're watching this video, if you haven't seen, go check out my troll build gameplay and you wanted to see this in action, and that was a weaker version. This is an even stronger version, so you can definitely go deeper into that. And going into my Kneepads, I'm going to be running Gilligard with Empowered. I can easily roll anything I want on the Kneepads as far as like Empowered or Surge or whatever, because I have so much skill power. But I just want to have as much skill power as possible, because you never know, you know what I'm saying? There might be OP mods that come out in the next update and you need to have this much skill power, and I'd rather have it in advance. Better safe than sorry when I'm not going to gain anything else. I don't really need skill haste. My duration's so high anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I have 10.5% armor. I've seen people with higher, so you can definitely get higher on your Kneepads. I also have total armor mods, and I don't have the best mods at all, and you can see how good the build looks already. So the premise of the build is obviously, so you're gonna use a blinder. I'm gonna give you a little freebie. On my main build, which is like this build, I'll show you guys later, I use Gunner because the easiest way to proc the gloves in the game is the Banshee Pulse. And if you know, you can switch to Spotter because it marks them. We'll get all into that later. But the second best option for me is going to be Blinder because it's super effective, especially if you're getting chased down, if you need to get away. You blind them, you get away, you get your heals, you get your Diamondback while you're running away. You reload, you get that bonus armor. So for the people who don't know by now, you can't get the Diamondback as of right now watching this video. If you already have it, GG. If you don't, I'm sure they're going to bring it back. But if you have the Diamondback from running the Keenly missions, the most OP thing with this build is going to be the, what's it called? Oh, I'm tripping. Shedding Skin. While drawn, each time a round is loaded, gain 20% bonus armor for 3 seconds. So being that I have such a high armor pool, you can only imagine that I get 20% of that 5 times because there's 5 bullets in the magazine. So pretty much what I do is I'll just shoot it out to like 0 bullets and switch a weapon, or shoot out to 1 bullet and pretty much run around, drop my heals. And when I get to a position where they actually start taking down my armor, which is already hard, period, because the healing I have on my chem isn't even that good. It's 126, but when you double that 120%, it's like 250k plus. You know what I'm saying? So outrageous heals. You don't have to really worry about that. But just in the cases where you even come close, or you even half health, you reload this. That bonus armor is not going. They're gonna have to get through 448 armor by the end of your reload while stopping your heal, which is not happening because they can barely get through your heal to begin with. So that's how I run it, and then for a little extra on top of it, obviously I put on Protected Reload, so I get another 10% bonus on top of that, and it does apply to Diamondback. I have tested it. It's just a little bit, but it's still anything, right? Why not? I'm not shooting another gun. I don't pretty much care otherwise, and I run Wasply in my pistol for foam situations anyway. So what's cool is if you get pressured to a position where people are rushing you, you pull out your blinder, you have a really high duration, because I have an 11% duration mod, which it's okay, but just the fact that it's going to be double duration anyways because of the BTSU gloves. That's a really long blind. You can get away while you're running. You can run while reloading. So even if they're shooting your back, hence Diamondback, they can't really hurt you. You get around corner, pop your med kit, you're good to go. And being that you're running Survivalist, if you're a healer in the first place, there's no way somebody's going to burst you through your med kit, which is regenerating your health, plus your heals, plus the Diamondback ability. And you pretty much, that's where you saw the gameplay where it was like pointless for them to even shoot me. They just gave up. The only way you pretty much die is one-shot Seeker if it's really good. Bombardier, every build dies. And if you get relentlessly foamed over and over and over, focus fired by Eagle Bears nonstop, and they're landing their shots, which is crazy, right? And if you're playing this, you're with a team anyway. So if your teammates are playing smart, standing the heals, the only thing that sucks about this concept is right now people can steal your heals. So this build makes everybody unkillable at some point, because you're gonna have to worry about their DPS plus running in your heals, which I mean that's the counter, right? So if you want to counter this build, just run in their heals, but the thing is you still can't kill me, which is the whole purpose. So I get my purpose regardless. You're just stealing a part of it. And if I have teammates bursting you, you're not gonna have the same protection I have with my Diamondback. So overall, that's the concept of the build. I know people have been super curious to run heals. Is this raid material? I wouldn't say it's this raid material because the meta's already established its damage. Maybe in the next raid you're gonna need some tankiness, because this is a tank build, this is a healer build, this is a support build. Maybe you can stand, maybe in the next raid you're gonna be able to stand in a point and you have to withstand so much damage or something. That'll be a situation for this build, but as of right now I wouldn't take this into the raid. Your teammates probably complain because you don't have DTE, but for a concept in PvP especially, it is extremely annoying. You can ask, I have a lot of laser beam friends, bro. All my friends have sweat builds, creative builds, all that, and everybody, we already know how annoying this build is, to the point where people just stop shooting. And I think that's the whole premise. That's why it's trolly, because it's like, it's pointless to even waste my time fighting it. And honestly, if you hit a couple shots of Diamondback, even though it's a low 108 compared to like 160 that people can get, you can get some kills, man. You take chunks. You remember, it's still a rifle. It's still, you still hit headshots with it. It's still a lot of damage. It's just not designed for that. So don't think you don't have to use your shots, bro. Put some pressure on them. You can take, like, I would say like 25% of their armor off, period. Just a little chunk, you know what I'm saying? It's enough to scare them. If you hit 2 or 3 of those, man, you know they're gonna start backing up. So yeah, it's pretty much the build, you guys. I'll go into the stats so you guys can see what I have. I know a lot of people are super interested in this. Pretty much, I know most of you guys know this already, but yeah, so the concept, 448 armor, who cares about health, because your health is never touched, and the skill power is outrageous, so I don't have to run any mods that are, I also have 60% skill haste, which is more than enough for me. You could look at my drone, chem, pulse, high, firefly, secret mine, and shield, and turret, and everything's over 3200. That's every single mine in the game without auxiliary. Like, if I wanted to be overkill, like, let's say there's freaking OP exotic mods that take like 3500. If I were to run like just one auxiliary, like, look at my skill power at the top. That's 4500 skill power. Unnecessary, overkill as of today, but who knows? We spec into the future sometimes, and maybe this is going to be for the next wave of amazing heals and stuff. You know, we'll be able to do that, but as of right now, like, just base, I have 34, which even like my highest mods, I don't even know, at 28, I can grab that. That's nothing. I don't even think I have mods that are past 2800. Like, I can run any mod on the floor in the game, doesn't matter, which is cool because some of those mods are pretty OD, and a lot of people can't achieve those because they're running so much hybridness. So yeah, I love y'all, appreciate y'all. If you guys enjoy this, man, if you guys are interested in this concept, hopefully I see a lot of you guys trolling. Did I say that? Just kidding, don't use it. Don't make people mad. I don't want to get blamed. But anyways, I love y'all, appreciate y'all. Let me know what you guys would tweak on this. Let me know if you guys think this is actually a pretty comedy build to use. Let me know if you already have a build like this, and share some gameplay or something. You feel me? It's been real. I love y'all. Hit a subscribe. Your boy is